Anna is a successful entrepreneur, the owner of a popular online store specializing in rare antique items. She knows that her clients are very diverse, from collectors to eccentric enthusiasts. But one day, she receives an unusual order that she cannot ignore. Someone under the pseudonym Mr. X wants to buy an item that isn't listed in the catalog, an 18th century mirror with an engraving on the frame. Anna is surprised to find out that such a mirror does exist in her private collection. She always felt it had a strange energy that attracted attention. She writes to Mr. X, trying to find out how he knew about the item. But the only reply she receives is, "I'm waiting." Anna decides to agree to the deal, even though something about it makes her uneasy. She arranges a meeting in her store late in the evening, after all the customers are gone. However, Mr. X does not show up. At that moment, the lights in the store go out, and Anna is left alone in the dark. Panic starts to take over her, but suddenly, the lights turn back on. She notices that the mirror seems slightly different, and a faint handprint has appeared on its surface. That night, Anna cannot sleep. She decides to find out more about the mirror and its origin. In the archives, she discovers the story of its creation. The mirror belonged to a wealthy aristocrat who mysteriously disappeared, and before his disappearance, strange reflections were seen in the mirror that did not match reality. The next day, Anna receives another message from Mr. X. "You are getting closer." Soon she realizes that the customer knows more about her than he should. He begins to send photos of her home, her work, and her loved ones. In fear and despair, she decides to refuse to sell the mirror. But then the strangest thing happens. The mirror begins to whisper to her at night. She hears soft voices and sees movements within its depths. Anna realizes that she has been drawn into a gang with something or someone who is using the mirror to manipulate her life. She starts seeing Mr. X in her home, although she knows he can't be there. She wakes up at night to find herself standing in front of the mirror, though she doesn't remember how she got there. Anna decides to destroy the mirror, but every time she tries, an invisible force stops her, as if the mirror is protecting itself. So, she decides to turn to the local historical society, where she learns that the mirror is a mirror of souls, capable of capturing and holding people's souls. When she finally meets an old woman who tells her the truth, it turns out that Mr. X is the reflection of the mirror's original owner, looking for a way to escape. Anna is given only one piece of advice: do not look into the mirror at night, because it is at that moment that the boundary between worlds becomes thin. But on that very night, as Anna tries to cover the mirror, the next morning, she wakes up in a completely different place, in a house she has never seen before, and on the floor next to her lies a letter with the words, "Welcome to my world."